and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Harden,
Yes.
Bliss,
Yes.
Scruggs,
Yes.
Evans Warren,
Yes.
Matlock,
Yes.
Davis, Sims, Mayor Mikulich,
Present.
Montello,
Present.
House,
Present.
Haba,
Here.
Tap,
Here.
Freeman,
Here.
Stevens,
Here.
Jones,
Present.
Gaither.
Okay. The next thing on the agenda are minutes. These minutes are quite a few, but you have been given them in advance. And I will ask for the June 23rd as a current meeting. May I have a motion to accept those minutes?
I make a motion to approve the June 23rd council meeting minutes.
Is there a second?
Sims, Jr. second.
Roll call.
Harden,
Yes.
Bliss,
Yes.
Scruggs,
Yes.
Evans Warren,
Yes.
Matlock,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes, please.
Sims.
Yes, ma'am.
Motion passed to approve June 23rd's minutes.
Okay, we're catching up with minutes, and so that we have, these minutes can be posted, I'm going to group these past minutes together. You have had them for a period of time, and they are January 13th, a work session and a meeting, January 27th, a council meeting, February 3rd, a special meeting, February 4th, a special meeting, and February 6th was an HR committee meeting. May I have a motion to accept those minutes?
Sims, Jr. so moved.
May I have a second?
Evans, second.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you may.
With the approval of this batch of minutes, I would like to see an index of what else remains to be approved. This is going back to January and February of this year. And I know we're doing a catch-up right now, but we're in July.
May
So could council clerks present us with a schedule that shows what's left to be approved?
May I respond to that? We had a meeting, June 23rd, and council was supplied with that, but we'll be glad to give it to you again.
Well, we were supplied with an index of.
Every meeting that is completed, but we're not putting them all on at the same time. They are all completed. But you asked what was yet to be done,
That's correct.
and you were given that.
Okay, well, if I was, I apologize because I don't recall receiving that.
We'll
so-
give it to you again.
Okay.
All right, is there any correspondence from the clerk's office?
And all I have is, I did put a pricing proposal for the tablets.
Point of order, we didn't do
We didn't
a
do
roll call.
motion. Yeah.
On,
Finish it?
That was a question on the motion, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay. On the all the council meetings.
I apologize. Roll call.
Harden,
Yes.
Bliss,
Yes.
Scruggs.
Yes.
Evans Warren,
Yes.
Matlock,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes, please.
Sims.
Yes,
Motion passed to approve all the past minutes
So stated.
As listed.
as listed.
Thank you. And I apologize to council. Can we have, and you were responding to any correspondence, and what was your response?
I just put out the pricing proposal for either a tablet or a laptop if council is interested in looking at that. It was supplied by, Susan.
Since it goes to this person?
Yes.
As far as we know, this Adam pilot report? Okay.
A comment was made by our interim finance director that we're killing trees.
Yeah.
So if you have your laptops, if you are in need of one, please let the clerk know, and so we can determine how many are required, and we can determine what's the best approach. Okay. All right, we're starting with department heads. Mayor, would you give us your report, please?
Sure, thank you, Council President. Good evening, Oakwood. Thank you for your time this evening. I'd like to start off with good news. We were selected by the county for our master plan. list. So we will get that underway with council, with you all. We need your support in this. This is really a huge win for the village, and we will be able to map out the way forward, 5-year, 10-year. But the idea is that the residents, council, the administration, we all work together to figure out what we like to see in the village in the next 5 to 10 years. And the county, with its team of experts, will help us do that. So more to come on that, but we were selected, and we will be having further discussions about that once they get back to us. So far, we've only been notified that we were selected. Once they give us more information about what that process will look, what it looks like, and when we'll start, I'll report back to council and residents as well, so we can get started on planning out our vision for Oakwood. So that's a huge win for us. Number 2, coming along, our 75th anniversary celebration. We've gotten a lot of calls and questions about our concert series. So this year, instead of the concert series, we're gonna have a concert music festival weekend. And it will be combined with the 75th anniversary celebration. So July 31st, the 1st, and August 2nd, there'll be concerts. Instead of one per evening, there'll be several. So on that Saturday, the schedule will be 1 until 9, Sunday 1 to 6, and that Friday 5 to 9. So you'll get more concerts. It'll be like a festival. We just had a meeting and work session talking about how council and the administration and residents can come together to present anything that they have that they want to talk about in terms of historical precedents in the community. If you have pictures, if you want to showcase your family, we're asking you to bring all that information to the village, and we'll present a wall, is my idea. We could put a wall up, and we can combine images of families, former mayors, anything that you'd like. Council President Hardin mentioned the book. So if you have anything that you'd like to display, or any significant historical aspect, relic that you'd like to share, please bring it to the village. I had the opportunity to go to the Bedford Historical Society and talk to the director, the curator, and they're very anxious to get more information from Oakwood. So this would kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We'll start the research process. The Western Reserve Society said that they have a lot of things about Oakwood there, which is shocking to me. So we're working with the Western Reserve Historical Society to get more information about the history of Oakwood and how we can preserve and present that for the community. So please go back into your files in your houses, talk to your relatives and neighbors, pictures, anything that you want to share with the community about the last 75 years of the village. We want to hear from you, so please bring that to the village so we can present it to the community and share in your family's legacy. And again, that's the week of July 31st through August 2nd. There'll be, food, fun for the kids, music, presentations from, former council members, if that's what they want to do, or, maybe even a presentation to Mayor Gottschalk. So we want it to be a huge celebration where we're celebrating Oakwood and coming together instead of the concert series. Now next year we can go back to the concert series, but because we want to celebrate the 75th, we want it to be a music festival and a weekend-long celebration. So please mark your calendars. We're going to come out. We want you all to come out and celebrate with us. Please don't forget, every last Wednesday of the month is our town hall. This last Wednesday we'll be showcasing our fire department, and also we'll have Black environmental leaders there. And it's all about mitigation and preparing for storms. Black environmental leaders will have what we'll be offering go bags. These are bags that you can use if there's ever an emergency in your home, that they'll be giving away. In the bag there's chargers, there are different things that you can use, sort of like a first aid kit, but for emergencies, when there's a weather disaster or something's going wrong in your home. I don't know all of what's in the bag, but they will be there. The whole idea is mitigation during storms, and our fire department will be there on hand with lots of handouts and ways to prevent fires and things of that nature. So please come out. That's the last Wednesday of the month at the community center. Next Wednesday, June 22nd is a EV meet and greet from 6:30 to 8:30. So there is, an organization, what's the name of it? Electric Vehicle Association of Ohio. And this is an organization that brings together EV car owners and educates them on legislation, other ways to lobby to support EV car users. Other EV car users that are part of the organization will be there. If you have questions about buying an EV, you can come there. But this is, if you have an EV, this is a great opportunity to join the organization because they get you entrances into conferences and all different types of education. So they wanted to have a meeting here in the community. I thought it was an excellent idea. They are one of the national organizations that partake in EVs. So if you have any interest in EVs, if you have an EV, even more importantly, come out and join the organization because we'll also have an EV car show at the 75th anniversary celebration. So you can showcase your car, give ride and drives. So please, if you're interested in that, that's on June 22nd, Wednesday, 6:30 to 8:30 at the community center. So, the old one, just July, thank you. July. I'm Junior. Let me check the flyer, let me make sure the flyer's not wrong. Okay, so yes, it's July, pardon my poor little brain. But it is July and it's next Wednesday. So please come out if you want to learn more about EVs. And that concludes my report.
Thanks, Mayor. Okay, Karen House, the interim finance director.
I just wanted to update council, the mayor and council as it relates to the current 2026 budget. We did have a finance committee meeting, and just to share with everyone that what we're working on right now is amending this current appropriations. We plan to present to council to look at it and review it and put their proposed suggestions of what they feel the budget line items. And this will be a mid-year appropriation amendment that we're reviewing. Also, what has been presented at the finance committee meeting was also to update the salary ordinance legislation. So just to be current with titles, etc. And in addition to that, I just wanted to notify you that I mentioned in some prior months ago that the Cuyahoga County was contemplating about eliminating the advanced distribution of revenue. They did send a notification stating that that is on pause at this moment, which would be very beneficial, particularly for the school district, as they do rely on property taxes the most. But it also would impact the village of Oakwood as well as far as the cash flow. And what that statement was is that they were going to defer advanced property taxes. Typically, we would get property tax distribution applicable to our levies, like the second month of the year, and then mid-year, and then another distribution. If they would have done a pause on that revenue distribution, that meant that we would have had to wait mid-year to receive our first distribution, and then at the end of the year. So, of course, that would impact the school district significantly, being that they do rely on property tax as opposed to us, we rely on income tax. So that's a huge, that's a positive because we had a lot of voices to express concern at the county. So they decided to take a pause right now for further analysis. And that's all I have at this time. Any
There's a
questions?
question from Mary.
This paper, the expense report you gave us just tonight, how did we get so far for professional dues? Is that because we're different constantly clerks, or is that our professional dues, or what?
Yeah,
How did we get so far?
what I can provide for you is your activity report that will show you what your expenses were for each line item and show you what your expenses are.
And then, okay, same thing, because we got pretty high in our camera videos and the miscellaneous contractual services. We want to know what those are. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Bliss?
Yep, appreciate the report. Since you're updating the mid-year appropriations in the budget, would it make sense for us to schedule a finance committee meeting in advance? We're getting ready to take a recess, but in advance of our next board meeting?
Yes, and I mentioned that at the last finance committee meeting too, that we will be having a finance committee meeting prior to.
Yeah.
That will, and you might want to schedule one before that even amongst yourselves so that you can do an analysis. To my understanding, when I present the Excel spreadsheet over to, I believe, your clerk of council. They will be working in conjunction with you to put in your budgeted proposals, your budgeted numbers that you proposed. So there'll be a column for the current budget that was passed 2026-23. There will be another column for what the department heads are proposing. And then you will see the 2025 year-end expenditure. So you can compare it as to what the ask is. And then there'll be a column solely for you guys to generate your numbers that you have determined.
Thank you.
Do you know when that Excel sheet, when you're gonna send it over to me?
When?
Yeah,
Very soon.
okay,
I'll give you a date.
all right. Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome.
All right. Any other questions, Karen? Mr. Law Director, one time?
No report tonight, Madam Chairman. I just welcome all of you. Nice to see you. Thank you for coming. End of report.
Okay, when we get to the point, please remind me to add that.
Oh, that one motion, yes, ma'am, will do.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Captain Freeman?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. We have just a few things I just want to go over real quick. We do have all our dates set for our events that's coming up. Coffee with a Cop is going to be at Dunkin' Donuts on Thursday, July 23rd at 8 a.m. in the morning to 10 a.m. Also, we're going to have our 3-on-3 basketball event. It's going to be at the Booker basketball courts on Booker. That's going to be on Sunday, August 16th, 3 to 6 p.m. And our Citizens Academy, like I've been speaking about, starts on September 2nd. A couple other things that's going on. Officer Ward is on our motorcycle unit right now, so you will be seeing the motorcycle out a lot more. It's going to be in the residential areas, doing mostly traffic enforcement. He does do some parades and things like that, but mostly the guy on the motorcycle is out to traffic enforcement, write tickets, slow people down. Also, we have a big leads audit coming up. Actually, for the next 90 days or so, we're going to be dealing with an audit. And it's a security audit, and LEADS is the Law Enforcement Auto Data System. Basically, that's the system that we use to run license plates, people's driver's license, look for stolen vehicles, things like that. So we're going to have a big audit. We have that every 3 years. We've passed it every time, but it's pretty in-depth. So we're going to be working on that pretty a lot coming up for the next 3 months. Also, Oakwood would like to give our deepest condolences to the Richmond Police Department for the loss of their officer that was killed in the line of duty last week. So we'd like to honor his sacrifice and his courage. That's all I have for today.
Council President, I'm so sorry after that. I do have one more thing, important thing to state after your question. I apologize. I just wanted to make an announcement. I did receive a notification from Regional Income Tax Agency. They are starting their subpoena program, just to let you know that residents will be seeing, or individuals will be receiving notification from Regional Income Tax Agency indicating that they will be having to appear in their subpoena program to address some of their outstanding balances. So just giving a notification, if you know neighbors, please spread the word that that will be coming out within the next month or so.
Okay. My question
Sorry
is,
about that.
oh, that's okay. My question is for Captain Freeman. Captain, I've had rumors, people have told me that, is our police chief still employed with us? And it's the Village of Oakwood, as far as we know? He is on the payroll still?
He's on.
Okay, he hasn't been at any of the
He's on
meetings the last
sick.
2 months. He's on sick
He's
leave.
sick, yes.
So, but my rumor was that he moved out of the Ohio State.
I don't know anything
Okay,
about that.
okay, well, that's why I was wondering, okay, so we need to check. Okay, thank you.
Fire Chief Jack?
Thank you, Madam President. Just so you know, myself and Captain Freeman, with this heat coming up, if any of the residents need someplace to get cooled off, we are opening the cooling center down at the community center if need be. So if any of your residents are having a problem with the heat and they just need to go somewhere to cool off, we can have one of the officers go down and we'll put out water there, somewhere at least go sit in the air conditioning. You can charge your phones, phone chargers. There won't be any food or anything there, but at least get themselves out of the heat. So as long as you know, we worked on that, so that'll be open. And then next Saturday night, the 25th, if anybody's interested, we will be participating in the Walton Hills 75th anniversary. And they're doing a fireworks and a drone show. Supposedly they're like 250 drones up in there. And we will be handling the fireworks for that show. So
What day is that, Chief?
July 25th. So if anybody's interested, go down there and recognize them as well. So that's all I have.
Is that at the park? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
TG on the park.
TG, okay, TG. Okay, thank you.
I'm here for questions.
Any other questions?
And we appreciate it, because we know how hot it's been, and,
Yes.
you know,
Absolutely.
Is that something that's appropriate to put on the red line?
It is, I mean, it's more for like if we have power outages and they can't have the air conditioning. But we can open it if we get a couple call, more than one call.
I got you. Is dispatch in Bedford, are they aware that that's available if they
Yeah, that's,
call?
that's part of our emergency plan.
Gotcha. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And can we also put, I'm sorry, put that on our sign out front, that is needed or whatever for cooling place or not?
To the mayor.
I can look into getting it.
Okay, I like that, because.
Yeah, we don't have any slides.
There's nothing on it, yes, okay, thank you.
Hey, Tom,
Yes.
are we still thinking about training someone else into inputting the information on that sign? So it's just out there?
Yeah, but I don't know who
I don't
we're
know.
at.
Karen gave it to me.
We were looking at a new program for that sign for years now, and it's nothing but a standstill. Tom Simpson was working on a new program, so somehow
Do they have a program for it, or I mean?
he
is it
was
something
looking
in-
into getting one.
Is that the same, again, is that the same sign hookup that's down at the community
I
center?
believe this one is.
So they're both about this, from the same company, probably with the same signs or
Yes,
whatever?
and they're very outdated.
Any other questions? Okay, may we have a report, please, from the building department?
Council President. Real brief, an update on decom. Letter was sent out to them with the deadline of August 10th for them to comply. If they don't, I was told that a citation will be written and then they'll move into court after that, after the August 10th deadline. And as far as the Gray Brothers, they also received a violation letter from our building official with the deadline of July 30th. And the same thing goes for them if the compliance date is, if past the compliance date.
What is your expectation from Gray Brothers? What are you asking them to do?
Well, the operation there, it requires them to sell new cars and used cars. So if they're not doing that, they pretty much gotta stop their operation.
All right.
Okay, I have another question for you.
Excuse me, hold on, Mary, you're acknowledged, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. The decal, what are you looking for their expectation? What
Well,
is
they
that
gotta
site
put
cited for?
up, some fencing and, screening.
Okay, from the property of
Yes,
Macedonia?
yes.
Okay, all right, and that was August 10th?
August 10th is their compliance date, yes.
Okay, and also Gray Brothers, we did take to court, what I assume, I don't know if this law director knows, or law assistant, whatever, that we did take them to court already, but we didn't get anything done, or, do you know anything about that court case?
I will look into that, I never knew that.
Yeah, they did go to court once, they were cited before, and I never heard anything happen through that, so, we appreciate it, thank you. Let us know, please.
Yes.
Thanks.
Mr. Attorney,
Yes, ma'am.
about maybe 3 meetings ago, we asked you about some information about Gray Brothers.
And
Did
that-
you have opportunity to look it up and to provide us with that information? That was about Gray Brothers and them stating that they had some type of documentation that had them to go one way, and our question was to the law directors that you should have documentation also on file regarding what they should be having at that facility. Did you have opportunity to look that up?
I did discuss it. There is no such document as far as I know. So there's, that's why we decided to write the citation here. And we did suggest some, previously I found out that they did suggest some alternatives for, they could have went before the Board of Zoning Appeals. They could have put up a fence possibly. There were numerous other things discussed about possibly resolving the issue. They never followed through with it. So I'm not sure.
So right now, all we're at is issuing
We
a
were-
citation for Gray Brothers, when Gray Brothers actually indicates that they have a petition or a license to sell used or new cars. But we know there's something else going on down at Gray Brothers, because I don't see any used or new cars on that facility. So now we're just gonna issue a citation. Shouldn't we be going to court by now?
Well, I think according to the building commissioner, he had to release, do these letters first.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Mr. Clymer agreed as well.
Okay, but haven't this been in with the law directors and haven't this been into your office, how many years? Cause I've been in here 4 years and I've been hearing about Gray Brothers now for
For 5 years.
a couple of years, so now shouldn't we be making some steps to, and I understand, and I know that Mayor Goffchoff was on Gray Brothers also. So shouldn't it be a little further advanced now than just a citation, going back to another citation? I know we had another building director in there before. I don't know what took place, but we never should have dropped the ball on this.
So, to my
Yeah, that's true.
understanding, a citation has not been written. He has gotten his final violation, which is, his compliance date is July 30th. If he does not comply by July 30th, then a citation for court will be written.
Okay, so then we're gonna go back through this process again. Can we?
I never knew they were.
Can we, yes, it's been there for years, since I've been on council here, within the 4 years, that's all they've talked about is Gray Brothers on that corner. And Gray Brothers, for one, should have never had any type of license on that corner, because that's going in and out of Oakwood, and the first thing you see when you pass Broadway and Macedonia is a company there with just a lot of, what can I say? It's basically just there.
Perhaps this would be top of the list for the new law director, I think.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
that's not.
No, but we'll work with
That's not
Put on
funny.
the law director. We should have been on
This
top of this a
council
long
is
time ago.
absolutely correct. It's a matter, we might drop the ball, but the courts don't. It has to be a matter of record, Mr. Law Director. What was that?
Sorrentino?
Sorrentino was in court with this. It's a matter of record, so we're not gonna debate it here. These
Yeah, we'll
people didn't
look
come
into
to hear
it.
this.
It's
But
like it's not being taken
somebody
serious
needs to
enough.
find out what's going on
Yes.
there. And the expectation is that we're not starting over again with citations. So we need you to find out what's really going on over there.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Go ahead, please.
Thank you.
Oh, real quick, Mr. Stevens,
Yes.
Mary Gates, I'm sorry. Just another question, we haven't heard anything about, is anybody going out doing citations around the village, I mean, as far as residential? Or, as we were told, we were given in spring, all the checklists that the people were supposed to be checking, making sure their houses and their lawns, their gutters, all that stuff was supposed to be taken care of.
Yes, absolutely.
Has people been going out? or-
Yeah, it's just me now, and,
Yes.
yes, I do write, violations. When I go back and check, 9 times out of 10, a lot of them comply.
Oh, good, okay. If they're not, can you, I mean, each individual ward, if they're, whatever our ward group is, I mean, let us know who's
Oh,
not
absolutely,
applying.
yeah,
We
absolutely.
appreciate
I'll
that.
do that.
Thank you.
One question, Mr. Stevens.
I'm sorry,
Sorry.
sorry.
What do you mean by it's just you know?
Well, I'm just one.
Just you out in the field?
Yeah, just in the
Okay.
field, just me in the field, sorry. My apologies. Yeah,
No,
just
no,
in
you're
the
fine.
field.
Yeah, I'm just making sure.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions of the service department, of the building department? If not,
Just one more.
excuse me.
Thank you. What did you find out about the home across the street from Miss Wynn? Did we find out if that home, the home that they had, thank you, Tommy, for finally cutting that lawn up there, on that vacant property. The one that they did the digging on the side of it and the new home is being built next to it.
Yes.
Have they found out
I
information?
did. They're not the same owner. The new house that they're building is individual, and the one that's, in question is owned by a LLC. And he has came in and paid for his permits and to start doing that work.
So is that the question, is that what I'm looking at on the report stating that there is gonna be a transfer or something like that? Is that the home that's information or whatever is supposed to be transferred on that home?
I'm not sure about a transfer on, but
On the property?
2582-3 is what we're speaking of. Now, I do know that the owner who owns that LLC has came into our office, paid for his permits, and I think he's talked to Montello as well to confirm that he's gonna begin the work. We haven't got a definite date yet, and that's because, he had to work something out with his contractors, but I'm on top of that.
Okay. Montalvo, do we put anything in place for these new homes that's coming up under LLCs and the rental rights?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Are we supposed to be working on something with these LLCs?
I can look into it. Is it something that you're asking us to do? with the
There was
resolutions?
something that the building department was supposed to put together. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, there was someone in Safefield, that had written some type of, legislation. And it was seemingly to be sticking in their area, referring to LLCs and Airbnbs.
May I interject?
Yes.
You have my permission to discuss the conversation you and I had this past week. You are correct. Safe Built was working on updating the codes here. The question is, where is that? I asked you the question regarding the process for tracking rental property. And I asked you if you needed additional legislation. And we're not gonna have this on the floor, but I think, Mayor, we need to talk with the building department, because we don't want that to slip through the cracks
I
or
did
whatever.
send you an email regarding what you asked.
Yes, sir.
I did.
But I said you have my permission.
Oh, yeah, yep, so I did send you an email regarding, looking into the legislation of changing who writes citations for the village. I sent you, I think, 2 different cities that allows their inspectors or, anybody working under the building commissioner to write those, no traffic citations. And if we adopt those codes, then we would be allowed to write our own citations, put our recipes together. So-
Mr. Law Director, Mayor, Council, we need to get together and make that happen, because we're wasting a lot of time, okay?
And I did send you that information.
And I thank you. I said you had my permission to discuss it. Yes, sir.
Ronnie,
Yes.
Mayor Nicolich, we are in the process, we started, with the apartment rentals, if you wanna discuss that. We got a list from the county to try and identify, non-owner occupied dwellings and preparing down, do you wanna talk about the work you're doing
Yep,
with
so,
Gina?
we got a list from the counties, a little bit over 2,500 parcels over there on the list. So we're going through the list, identifying what needs to still be on the list and what can go. Once we do that, we'll more than likely send out a mass mailing to these residents, asking them for information on, occupancy, who's renting, who's owning, things of that nature, so we can verify that accordingly and put, and especially like Section 8 homes, they usually require us to, issue a rental registration to the Section 8 owners, and that's typically how that program works. We don't see any of that in the village, so we're working on that.
Thank you. Keep us informed.
I will.
All right. Tommy Haba from the Service Department, please.
Thank you, Madam President. I have no report tonight. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you.
I have a question regarding the guardrail on Fair Oaks.
Yeah, we're gonna do it on our list. Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Okay, and also the aprons in the driveways. I sent you one. You told me it was on the list.
Which apron,
It's on Glenshire.
Glenshire apron? I know the one on Rainham, that's when,
It's raining. Yeah,
Rainham, yeah, I told
Rainham.
you. The engineer, that's gonna be part of the program. We identified some other aprons and berms in that area, curbs, and that'll be in the report.
Okay, so about when will it be taken care
Well,
of?
that'll be a whole thing, that's for council to approve, a whole program.
Oh,
of a few
okay.
of them.
Okay, thank you.
Council
Paige, go ahead.
One more. Karen, I'm gonna ask you just one question. The TIFs that we utilize, and I'm referring to the TIF from,
Businesses.
yes, from the business.
Vet center.
Vet center.
Mhm.
How can I utilize that TIF? They have approximately $3,000-something in, hold on the TIF for it to be used.
So there's legislation applicable to that TIF. We have 10 TIFs. So I think I brought that up at a previous meeting, if I'm not mistaken, to talk about the utilization of how we can use each TIF. So I can follow up with you. I do think that that will require an immediate conversation at some point because there are 10, and the mayor and I had discussed that it's 10 inactive, meaning the money's collected there, so we have to determine the usage. And it's just,
And the reason why I asked you that question, because I have a home, Miss Harris' home, over on Tryon Road. The Met Center, there was an agreement for her backyard, okay?
Screening of the
For
backyard.
some screening that they had made when, the Met Center came into Oakwood. To my understanding, Ms. Harris gave us, she said she came up here and she had a letter Xeroxed off. The mayor's old secretary, Dee, said that the letter was brought to their attention there and the mayor had the letter. So that's why he was in agreement about, remember he kept telling us, yes, that was the case, but we can't find the letter now. She don't have the letter, but she had the envelope that the letter came in. She think that she came up to the city hall, had it Xeroxed off, which she did, and gave it to Dee, okay? But I'm quite sure you, Mayor, you don't have that letter in your possession. Now, she said, I'm only asking that because of the fact the information was, the mayor had it. So I don't know if it's in the office and it's got, you know,
let's talk
misplaced.
offline so I can dissect that a little bit
And
more.
we could see.
And if anything, even the letter, we have to make sure that the letter coincides with what the legislation reads as far as authorization of how to use it.
Okay.
Because if the legislation dictates a certain specific way of how to use that, we have to abide by that, unless there's an agreement, an amendment between the vet center, that actual business and the community, to address that.
Okay.
Okay, so I will get back to you in regards to that, because I would like to talk about the 10 tips that we have.
Okay, great.
Okay?
Okay,
I'll
good.
follow up with you.
Okay,
Council
thanks.
President,
Thanks.
if I may, for Tommy. Mr. Alba.
Yes.
So we've been getting calls about speed bumps. I know we talked about some speed bumps,
Yeah.
calls from the Meadows, some down Booker. So, this is to open it up to people and the residents as well. If you think you may need speed bumps on your street, if there are issues with speeding, we have a trailer that we can move to different areas. Whenever we get requests about speed bumps, we try to move the trailer to that area to help deter speeding. But we had started researching.
Yeah, we did. We have
costs.
prices on the speed bumps and the speed tables. Those are the wider ones.
So the movable ones, other municipalities said the movable ones are better, so you can take them up in the winter time. And then, for example, we may be able to move them. So if you could continue that research, and I asked the residents, if you think you may need some speed bumps on your street, give us a call, because I don't know, maybe we can buy them in a pack of 10, and then, put 2 on the street, but we need to know where you think they're speeding. So if you have any thought that there may be speeding on your street, let us know. We can bring the trailer before we invest in the speed bumps, if we have that in our capital budget, or any budget. But the thought is, if you think there should be some speed bumps on your street, let us know, and we can look into that investment. And we're bringing the trailer to your street in the meantime.
Tommy, can we put those on state streets, like Pettibone?
You probably have to get
Permission
permission
from
the county.
state?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can't do
I know that years ago, tried to make
State. Pettibone.
Pettibone 25, and our county said, no, you couldn't make it 25, you can make it 35.
Yeah, the county's not gonna approve speed humps or speed tables on any of the county routes.
Okay, that
I
was
mean, we
just
could
a,
ask, but they're not gonna.
that was just a question, cause Pettibone is, the speed's picking up. Okay.
Now that you're on that, we are getting, surprised not in yet, ordered them a couple months ago, new signs, John, for, I talked to the police chief in Willow, and the no truck signs, new no truck signs on the overhead by the street, by the stoplight, on the corner of Pettibone, Broadway, Alexander. There'll be new signs up there, as soon as we get that.
One last thing, Council President.
Go ahead.
And so the walkway, there's a walkway, Matt, I don't know if this is for you, I was coming down, I believe it was Tryon, where they have to cross over. And, you know, there was someone standing there, and you could just see that the cars were coming, and they didn't really acknowledge the person trying to cross. You know, the ones that have the flashing pedestrian, it's a more noticeable, indication that it's a crosswalk. Would that be engineering, or would that be you? You know the signs that I'm talking about?
That'd be all police and engineering and us, you know, but, you know, those aren't that cheap, but that's something we could look into, and police would be part of that.
Right, right on that Tryon where they have to cross over
Right by
the walkway.
Lamson, right by Lamson.
Yes.
That's why it was so important for us to finish that crosswalk coming down Tryon, because they are walking, once that sidewalk ends on Jean, they are in the streets, and I'm gonna say even coming off of Richmond Road, coming over the hill, you cannot, it's a blind spot. And it's right at my driveway. You cannot see, period, coming through there. It's dangerous. And for kids, I'm gonna tell you, I got hit by a car before. It's not fun. For a kid to get hit, how do you tell their parent that they got hit because of the fact we neglected to put some type of walkway there, something? Because these kids now are on bikes. They're older enough now, they're riding bikes and they're in the streets, and these cars don't care. They just go. So
Maybe the engineer can help.
yeah, maybe Matt, you can
Matt,
help.
could you, your next, do you wanna respond to any of this and give your report?
I can
please?
comment on it, if it's my turn, I can.
Yes, it
It's
is.
your turn.
Okay, so, before we get to that, I do have a couple of other things. The Board of Control did award 3 contracts for construction projects. One of them is the First Place Phase 2. Then also the 2026 road program, which is Milburn, 3 streets in the Meadows, portions of 3 streets in the Meadows, and the 2 currently open ends of Suwannee will all get taken care of under that program. And also we awarded a contract finally for the Garden Growth sanitary lateral improvements. So all 3 of those projects should be underway in hopefully August, September, worst case. We're hoping that they can all get completed this year. Again, we're getting a little bit late start on some of these things, but they're all under contract and getting ready to start. So that's good news there. Also, the mayor had and Tom had mentioned about in particular that catch basin on Rainham that we looked at. That is part of, I'm going to be proposing a catch basin repair program that would be, depending on the size of the project, it would be one that we either bid out or send out for RFPs to contractors, depending on how big it ends up being. We're going to look to have that funded through community cost share through Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District. Before we can move forward with that, I have to work with that entity to make sure that that funding, typically that's an eligible activity under that funding, but I want to make sure that that we have that sort of locked down before I would proceed with that, just to make sure that it's covered. There's no unexpected costs to the village on that. So should have more information about that when we get back from recess. And then, so I'm sorry, the other topic was, sidewalks. So, yeah, we've talked about that before, and, you know, we were able to get funding for the portions of Tryon that are done currently through a combination of sources, but the big part of it was CDBG. Unfortunately, the CDBG funding is only eligible to be used in LMI census brackets, which the east end of Tryon does not qualify for that source of funding. So that kind of limits what we're able to do. Standalone sidewalk projects don't score well under OPWC. It's really not realistic to get funded that way. So really, we don't have a lot of funding sources available. As I've mentioned before, it's really, if it's a priority for council to get that done, it's really gonna have to be done with local money. And it's just gonna have to be something where you have to decide that that's a priority that you wanna fund. So, you know, we continue to look for sources of money for it, but that one's a really tough one to fund. There just aren't a lot of sources of money for that. in non-LMI areas. So, that's,
What's your response?
other than that, I'm open for questions.
Question, please.
Question
Madam
for Mary?
Chair. You mentioned the Garden Road, so are you sending out letters to the residents that it is going to be starting or not yet? The Garden
Yes,
Road is-
we don't have dates yet because we haven't had a pre-construction meeting.
Okay.
You know, again, we just awarded the contract last week, so we're early in that process, but yes, the residents will all be notified.
And you're expecting this to be done, you said August or not being done by?
No, we're expecting it to begin sometime in August.
Yeah,
The contractor stated in his bid that he could start as early August. So,
Okay, so can we get letters out to the residents then, because it's only 2 weeks?
they're gonna be
Okay.
contacted individually.
Okay, perfect, thank you,
There
sir.
are 7 impacted homes.
Yes, thank you.
Anything else? Just want to say thank you for all that you do.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay, any other questions? All right.
Thank you.
Mr. Bliss, you wanted to give a ward report?
Yeah, I wanted to just share a couple of remarks. And Madam President, members of council, the mayor, and residents, I appreciate the time before you this evening. Before I give some brief remarks, I just want to first of all reflect on why I am here today. On November 13th of 2025, I was selected by this council to fill an open seat on council. On November 24th, 2025, I proudly took the oath of office, which was administered by our county executive, Chris Ronayne, during a public ceremony that was attended by family, friends, residents, and other elected officials. That evening, when I took this seat and accepted the seat on council, I also accepted a solemn responsibility. I swore to support the Constitution and laws of the United States, the state of Ohio, and the charter and ordinances of Oakwood Village, to faithfully discharge the duties of my office, and to always place the interest of the public first, of the residents first in my decision making. During my remarks that evening, I promised to lead with integrity, to listen before I spoke, to choose service over ego, progress over politics, and unity over division. And those were not simply words that I said, they were commitments that continue to guide me in this service today. As of today, I've had the privilege of serving in this role for 8 months. During that time, I have diligently worked to learn about our community, our residents, our seniors, our neighbors, to understand our charter, our finances, our legislative process, and the responsibilities entrusted to each of us on council. Unfortunately, after 8 months of observation, participation, and reflection, I have become deeply concerned about the overall effectiveness of council leadership and the direction of council governance. My comments this evening are not about one disagreement, one vote, or one individual, but they're based on what I believe to be a continuing pattern of governance issues that has weakened public confidence in council and hindered our ability to serve the residents of Oakwood. I believe we have to restore accountability and transparency in the village. The village charter places important responsibilities on the council. We must organize at the beginning of the year, establish rules that we follow, maintain accurate, publicly accessible records of agendas, meeting minutes, conduct our legislative business through properly recorded action, and responsibly exercising our legislative and financial authority. The council president has additional responsibilities, presiding over council meetings and ensuring the orderly conduct of council's official business. In my opinion, council leadership and council have not met these responsibilities. The record will reflect reoccurring confusion around meetings, around agendas, legislation, voting requirements, rules, procedures, completion of the official record. We failed to begin our term with an organizational meeting and an effective organizational structure. Council has not established a functioning committee structure and has allowed substantial delays and gaps in approval of meeting minutes. Critically important matters have too often been addressed reactively, in my opinion, through special meetings, emergency legislation, suspended readings, last-minute considerations, rather than through advanced planning, committee review, public explanation, and deliberate decision-making. Council's failure to act within the applicable deadline on the Fraternal Order of Police Collective Bargaining Agreement is one example that we need to talk about. The process used to develop the charter amendments also raised important concerns regarding clarity, public understanding, and council oversight. Amendments were overwhelmingly rejected by village voters. Now, regardless of differing opinions on the substance of those proposals, residents deserve a transparent and well-understood process. So these are not merely procedural shortcomings that affect the quality of village decisions. We're talking about the stewardship of public resources and the public's confidence in their elected officials. Today, Oakwood Village has an unprecedented opportunity. The mayor just reported the beginning of important work on our first community-wide master plan in 25 years. This is extremely competitive to get, and we're so blessed to have that. The first community-wide master plan in 25 years. Demolition of dilapidated and unsafe housing in our community, economic development, neighborhood revitalization, expansion of retail and commercial corridors. Council must be capable of working constructively, making timely decisions, and putting the interest of the residents first ahead of any internal political disputes. I'm just about done. Over the coming weeks, I intend to present documented examples supporting everything that I've said. So every observation I make will be based on village records, council minutes, legislation, village charter, and other applicable Ohio law. I welcome a constructive professional dialogue, and I welcome different viewpoints. Accountability, though, begins with agreeing on the facts. Every elected official takes the same oath of office. The question is not whether we took it, the question is whether we continue to live up to it. The oath of office remains the standard by which I will hold myself and this council, and together we can restore accountability and transparency in Oakwood Village. And as my father would always say, remember, the best is yet to come. Those are my comments. Thank you.
Any other comments? It's time to open the floor for public comments. Would you please step to the podium and state your name?
My name is Sharon Macklin. Everybody knows me, so. But I just came because I wanted to give kudos to the Rescue Fire Department. My son, Robert Macklin, my son, got really sick. My daughter, Stephanie Macklin, was going to take him to the hospital. She got as far as the fire department and couldn't take him no further. She pulled in. They worked on him right away. It was a mess. We didn't think he was going to make it through. They worked on him. They got him calmed down. They got him IV'd up, and they took us to the hospital. When we got there, it was terrible. But I just wanted to say that the fire department, the 3 guys that was there, I want to give them kudos because they saved my son's life, and he is my son, and they saved his life. He's 28 years old. He's working. He's doing what he's supposed to, but something happened that almost took him out of here. So I just want to say thank you to the fire department. I wish the chief had stayed. I want to say thank you to the fire department. I want to say, oh, he's still there. I just want to say thank you. The 3 guys that did it, they were fantastic. I don't know what I would have done if it wouldn't have been that way. But my daughter decided, Mom, I can't take him. We're at the fire department. Get up here. And we got up there fast, and they were so surprised to see that the family was there within seconds. I mean, I never had an Oak Hill, but when I left home, it was like, I didn't care who stopped me. They would just have to follow me to the fire department. But they saved my son's life. They really saved his life. And I just want to say thank you. And I think council, I mean, you guys have been there. Let me know when you're ready for your hot dogs. I'll be there for you. So, why are you talking to me? So that's all I really have to say. Thank you very much for everything.
Is he home?
Yeah, good luck.
Mr. Macklin, Ms. Macklin, can we ask you, is he home now, or is he?
Yes, he's
is
home.
he okay?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank you.
Oh, you guys forget it. Forget it.
Good evening, I am Melinda Harp. I live at 73273 Free Avenue in Ward 5 in Oakwood Village. And every time, to the mayor, it's council, law director, finance director, clerk. Every time I come to this podium, now and in the past, I come as a concerned resident, taxpayer of Oakwood Village. I have been coming to the council meetings consistently now, I would say for 10 months. So I have three issues I want to address. The first one is the schools. I have never been to a council meeting where there has ever been any kind of report on the schools. You have elderly people out here who are paying increased taxes because of the school levy. And then we also have people out here who have children in the school system. Nobody from this council ever gives us a report on the state of the schools. Are the Bedford schools flunking the Ohio state report card? How is the building of the new buildings going? Has there been a change in the blueprint? Or do you even know that there was a change in the blueprint and the Board of Education building is no longer in the conglomerate that they plan to? We know nothing about the schools. I would like to hear, as part of the reports that you do for everyone else, I would like to hear a report from a school committee that tells us about the state of the schools, what's going on, what the report card is, what the problems are, whether the police have problems, transportation problems. There's busing going on in Oakwood to Bedford to the schools. Are there issues with that? I would like to hear a report on that. I think that is very relevant. The other two things have to do specifically with the ward that I live in. And I'm going to address my comment to Police Chief.
No.
Captain Freedom.
Captain Freeman. And as I think about it now, it's probably this same time last year, same event, same circumstance, same address, same people, same situation. You answered a call on July 4th on Wright Avenue. Last year I got up and talked about these very same facts. Year later, very same facts. Same people, same residents. Last year, Mr. Sims got up and owned up to being responsible for that, even though he said, hey, everybody had fun. So this year, we have a repeat situation. You called out two police departments, Walton Hills and Bedford. Am I correct?
On July 4th, yes.
On July 4th.
Yes, ma'am.
For the very same behavior that was done last year at the same address. I think the difference between last year and this year is that you didn't issue any citations last year. But you tried to issue one this year because of the repeat. And the person at that address refused your citation. I want to know what happened to that citation. What happens when we refuse citation? And were there any arrests made? Because last year you made arrests. And what happened to the prosecution of those from last year? Did they repeat this year?
The situation on July 4th, it was on Wright Avenue. It was a large party, parking all over the street. A lot of people in and out, cars up and down the roadway. So the police came, a lot of people, so we called other departments, that we always do, called other departments in, and we spoke with the homeowner. We let her know that she was in violation of the parking situation, the disorderliness, a nuisance to the resident, and she was given a citation. At the time, she refused the citation, but it has been filed in Bedford Court and it's a pending court case for disorderly conduct.
And I'm correct to say that that is a criminal offense?
Yes.
It's not a traffic, it's not a civil, it's criminal?
Yes.
Okay. So, by it being at the same place for the second year in a row, are there other citations that are forthcoming?
At this time, it has been, I spoke with the law department about it, and we're talking about it. It could be sooner or later considered a nuisance, but at this time, it's just in the law department saying we're just looking at it right now.
I live in that neighborhood, and I don't like that.
Okay.
And I don't want to see that.
That's why we
And I
have.
don't want people to think that they have a privilege to do it just because.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yes, no problem.
The other thing I want to address quickly is Mr. Sims is reading up a letter from a discharged employee, and that was at 2 council meetings ago. It was live streamed, it was audio recorded, and that never should have been a situation where any individual council member put themselves in. When you took your office, according to your charter, you got a copy of the Ohio Ethics Law. And you had to put in writing that you got a copy and you read it. So ignorance is not an excuse. You placed yourself, Mr. Sims, and the city of Oakwood at a disadvantage by reading a letter from a disgruntled employee that was not even council business, that was an administrative decision. So you place yourself in a conflict of interest because necessarily so. You can't be part representing the plaintiff by reading his letter when he already said that he's going to sue the city of Oakwood, which is you. You can't represent and be the plaintiff and the defendant. So you're in a conflict of interest situation for that portion of the letter that you read that was live streamed. And there are consequences to that because subsequently, the law department will talk to you about that, I'm sure, okay? You can't even speak on this matter. You can't, if council ever has to discuss this matter, you have to be null and void because now you have shown through live streaming and audio taping that you're not impartial. And you have placed the city of Oakwood at a disadvantage. I think that you should have known better than that. The other thing, because as a council person, it wasn't your job. But the person who was dismissed, they could get up and talk all they wanted. They could read their letter, they could do anything. But when you stepped over that line, you created a conflict of interest. And you also actually, if I think about it, that was gross neglect of duty to the people that you represent. But you've been in office for 6 months. Every time I come here and they ask for a report, you're reading a letter, you're saying something about the mayor. As a Ward 5 resident, I want to know, what are your goals and your visions for our ward? When are you going to have a meeting for the ward so we can tell you what our concerns are, how we can help you make it better, whatever your goals are? When are you going to remove yourself from this venue in front of all these people in the lights and walk up and down our board and see what we're talking about? When are you going to talk to us? And that's all. You can have an opportunity to respond, but that is my charge to you. I don't need you to read letters. I don't need you to come up here and talk about anything else except what's happening in Ward 5. And right now, there's nothing happening.
Okay.
Another 10 years of nothing, might I add. Thank you.
And so anyone else want to speak?
Honorable Mayor and Council and Department Heads and neighbors. My name is Kimberly Chapman-Wynn. I live on Euclid. I'm speaking this evening because I'm frustrated, disappointed, and concerned about what's going on in our little village and what has been said about us in other communities, which impact Oakwood's reputation as a desirable place to live and raise a family. And we talk about 3 areas. The first is village governing, and some of it's already been touched on, maybe. A few years ago, I addressed this chamber and asked officials to focus on 4 C's. There are only a couple of you that were here at that time. Civility, communication, collaboration, and community. So I'll say it again. This village should be about civility, and that's all of us. Civility, communication, collaboration, and community. Sometimes that means conflicting views and opinions. However, it should never mean destructive controversy. Thank you for making the council meetings available on YouTube, as Ms. Hart said. I encourage all residents to watch them, and I encourage the village to use a larger chamber that's more comfortable so more people can attend and take part in village governing. The village is breaking. If you know me, you know I don't take sides. We may vote differently, we may disagree, but that doesn't call for disrespect, animosity, or revenge. There is right and there is wrong, and we may each have our own version of what we believe to be so. We can be community builders or dividers and destroyers. We can use our talents to make this a better community, or we can use them to tear it down. Mayor, I think you can attest to my willingness to work with the community, including altering my schedule to support the village's summer camp. I know many of you here on council are familiar with some of the work I've done to build this community. I love the community, and I know that it takes a village. Each village entity has a role to play, the mayor and her staff, council, and community members. Like the wheels of a car, each wheel is needed to carry the village forward. Respect and accountability must be present to ensure the entities function effectively, to ensure the physical health, well-being, and safety of every resident in the village. It's for the people. This means tough questions have to be asked and answered by all entities. I encourage the mayor and council to work together to provide a governing 101 session, because I understand there is confusion among residents. Residents do not know how this is supposed to operate. I've seen it, I've heard it, and I've witnessed it. Community policing. I, like many, have family members who have had negative and sometimes deadly interactions with police officers. We see it almost daily in the news and social media. I've previously spoken to Chief Garrett about my concerns over the police working in our community. I am a walker, a mother of a runner, and a skateboarder. Part of building a strong community is simple. It's raising your hand to wave, say hi, and if possible, stopping to talk to your neighbors. For the police, it's being friendly and community focused to those who they serve. I have often raised my hand to officers driving. I have stopped to talk to them. And I'm lucky if I get a smile. I'm very lucky if I get a hello. Most of the time I receive grimaces. Captain Freeman, I hear you're meeting with the community. I applaud that. But why not stop? As I asked Chief Garrett, why not stop by asking your officers to do the very minimum, basic, speak, wave, and if they can, stop. Most of them don't live in this community, and I'm beginning to question how much they care about this community. We know community policing is important. You had one that did it. Unfortunately, he left. He actually got out and danced with us at an event, but I hear he's gone. And that leads into the events of July 4th. And I may not know the details. I will be honest. But I recently heard about an event which has impacted trust. Mrs. Denise Kennedy and her husband Kenneth shared with me what they witnessed on that night of July 4th. She wanted to be here, however, she had a family event. She said what happened could have caused unnecessary panic and could have completely been avoided. I say it could have led to dire consequences. I think most of us, particularly people of color, black folks, know the difficult history that we have with police. We all carry historical intergenerational trauma, racial trauma. We've carried it from, my family had 2 members that were lynched at the hands of the police. We carry this, it impacts our DNA. There is a way that we should be handling issues. On the night of July 4th, there were many celebrations around the village. I can't speak to where the cars were, etc. There were several in my development. I heard them, I could hear the voices, the loud music. I actually wish I was at a couple of them. But at no point did I think of calling the police, even if it was after 11. My understanding is that night there was the event in the house in Ward 5, also celebrating the holiday. According to the Kennedys, they arrived home. Their backyard is adjacent, diagonally, opposite the house where the party was taking place. They told me at the house in question, the music was turned off when they got home around 11 or 11:30. Yet police were called. And I didn't believe this, 8 to 9 police cars showed up. 8 to 9 police cars showed up. I gotta say, I have a nephew who was killed at the hands of the police. So I have a problem with this. 8 to 9 police cars, and they were police cars from other agencies, as you mentioned. So we have police in Oakwood that don't really represent us or don't exercise community policing. I know others from other communities are. They also mentioned there were other parties going on, and the police never approached that house. We see almost daily interactions with law enforcement and the violent handling and killing of our black youth. And please don't assume it can't happen here. Please don't assume that. Why did it take 8 to 9 police cars? For loud noise, 1 or 2 police cars would have sufficed. What could have happened that night? What resources were wasted? Where else could the police have been needed that night? Instead of at a party that was already over. Let's remember it was July 4th. And as a council person told me that I grew up with, we remember the parties that went on at Joy Farm. And once a party was mentioned, kids come from everywhere. What relationship do we want with the community and our police? I've had nights where there are parties, loud talk, basketball, and other loud activities going on. I or my husband have either gone out to speak to neighbors or have spoken to them days later. I do understand this may have been different, but I will ask my neighbors, my friends, to please think differently before you contact the police. When police are called, bad things can happen. I know it. That's community building and developing understanding and respect. I would never call the police on children. Again, I learned more tonight, but I am certain there was a better way to handle it than 8 or 9 police cars. Oakwood Village is breaking or it is broken. I ask all entities, the mayor, council, department heads, and my neighbors to search inside. Are you part of the divisiveness? If so, you're part of the problem. What are you doing to be community builders to continue to make Oakwood Village a desirable place to live? Because it really does take a village. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tanya Dixon. I live on Buckhorn, 264 into Buckhorn. Just a little piggyback on what you're saying. It's interesting that I was just speaking about a big party on 4th of July. You need to get educated. Well, I'm surprised they didn't do anything on Juneteenth. You know, spend that time and money, energy on Juneteenth instead of 4th of July. That's just my opinion. Get educated. One thing is that if you guys notice on Forbes and Richmond, I'm a biker. I ride bikes all over the city. And I would say about a month ago, I got up 6:30 in the morning and I swept up a whole bunch of little gravel rocks that was right there on Forbes and Richmond. Got my bucket, I tossed the rocks and dirt behind the little wall that they have right there, cleaned it all up, swept it, blew it, got it all around the curve. I go out of town about maybe 2-3 weeks later. But it must have been a project because now there's a whole bunch of dirt there. Like, where did this dirt come from? And on the other side of the street, I started, but I didn't get finished. I didn't have enough time. But there's a big chunks of rocks. You know, I'm gonna do it this weekend if I get a chance to. But if someone can get out there and just clean those corners up, because as I was cleaning up, everyone was telling me, "Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you." Because when you ride your bikes on gravel, you can slip and fall. You know, and it's walking the dog or riding or whatever or running. It's gravel on both sides of the street. So I don't know who I should speak to get it up. If not, I get up. You know what I'm saying? Or have somebody help me. I don't know.
It was a water break there.
There was a water break there?
Water break and the gravel was washed up from the heavy rain.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I'm quite sure Tommy is probably.
But it's been there for a little while. But I got the gravel up.
I know, but
And
it's
then
just, yeah,
it's
Tommy.
more dirt.
It's
and
still
water
there.
in.
I know what you're talking about. They had a water main break there.
Okay, all right. Well, like I said, if Tommy, you can get somebody out
Yeah, we'll
there.
take a look
or-
at it, see what you got.
Yeah,
There was a
yeah.
water main break there about 3 weeks or so ago, maybe a month ago.
Or there's a big rock's been there for a
So-
little while. I just didn't get a chance to get on that side because I had to go somewhere.
I
But
think it's on the intersection at
Yes.
Buckthorn, or it's on the bike path?
it's on the bike path. It's on the bike
Okay,
path,
okay.
yeah. So you get both the corners, that'd be great.
Yep.
But that's it. All right? Thanks for everything.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Any other public comment? If not, we will close the floor. Mr. Law Director,
Yes, ma'am.
when you start reading the legislation starting with 2026-50.
Let's see. Just the title, I mean, I guess it's just an ordinance recognizing, or reorganizing the clerk of court's office.
This is the third read.
Yes, I don't know if we have any updates about that or anything, or.
she found it. Wait, you know. Where is it?
It's almost at the end, maybe the 5th.
On the 4th of July, so I'm sorry, 4th of July.
But I think that's just the title there. That's the whole title, right? Or is there more?
The 8th from the last.
I think the mayor may want to address you.
Yes, ma'am.
Council President, this is the mayor. I was going to request that council table this legislation. We're in the process of reintroducing Mayor's Court as a pilot. I've been reviewing the funds that came in for Mayor's Court, and it appeared that it had been profitable. So as a pilot for the next year, I'd love to reintroduce Mayor's Court, starting August 12th. And with that, if you could table this, at least to the end of the year, we'll have 6 months to see the profitability of the courts, or even for the year. If we have the year to look at the profitability of the courts,
The actual
then we
ordinance.
would be able to assess keeping on the second clerk, allowing the courts to run with the second clerk, because the first line of this legislation says Oakwood Mayor's Court no longer hears cases. So we have an opportunity to witness the Mayor's Court back in action today. I know there was some lag due to COVID and some other issues as to why it was closed. But my request is that we bring the court back, we look at its profitability after a year, and then make an assessment. But we would need both of the clerks to run the Mayor's Court. So if we could table this, if I ask at least to the end of the year, you'll have August, September, October, November to look at the profitability of the courts with the 2 clerks working, and we can then revisit it at that time.
Is there a question?
Yes. In order for us to open back up Mayor's Court, have you ever decided to come in with council and with the finance committee and discuss with them what would make it more profitable? I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think I heard it from Garrett, and I also heard it from the previous mayor that it was not profitable. I also heard it from the attorney that it wasn't profitable. So at what point were you gonna talk to council or talk to at least the finance director or over the committee and advise us or tell us what would make it profitable? Why would it be profitable? What is it that's gonna change our mind? How much did Bedford Courts bring in? What would we be bringing in if we were to open Bedford Courts back up? Also, what personnel will be, it's gonna be taken from every entity. What part of or what personnel will be used in order to open up that court? What is the wages on that? I mean, there's a lot to consider to reopen this back up. You just can't do it at a drop of a hat, or a dime. And we're talking, again, August 12th. That's not even 4 weeks. So what was the planning stage for this? This is not something that could be planned overnight and just opened up. You gotta have some players. I'm confused.
Are there any other questions?
Well, I have to agree with Councilman Matlock, because we did get 2 reports from 2 chiefs. I mean, the chief, not 2 chiefs, Chief Garrett and someone else. I don't know if it was Captain Freeman or not, but we did get 2 reports. And as a matter of fact, they closed it originally because Mayor Gottschalk used to have Mayor's Court. And over a period of time, it was stopped. They said it was not profitable. Even when we had the budget committee meetings and we had the 2 clerk of courts here, one of the clerk, we asked the clerk of courts about volume and things like that. And she reported, I asked her about cross-training. She said, we don't have to cross-train. I said, well, what happens when you go on vacation? She said, I leave everything in my office until I get back. So how busy can she be if she can leave everything for a week or 2 weeks or however long she's on vacation to come back? Why isn't there cross-training going on? Why would they close the department and report that it was non-profitable? And then now we get this. I don't mind, I know things can change over a period of time, but I don't think tonight, receiving this tonight and making this request tonight is the appropriate method. I think we should have been, had a meeting of some kind and been told ahead of time, or at least give us a breakdown of all the expenses and projected revenue from it, rather than come here tonight and then make an immediate change to the whole program after we propose this legislation for the clerk of court's hours to be decreased and then phased out by the end of the year. That we did that months ago. I mean, to wait all this time and then tell us tonight. I don't understand that method of business.
Are there any other comments? If not, this is a third read.
Let me hear the
I have
comment.
one, please. I just wanted to ask, the deputy clerk in there sent you a letter. I also, and she gave it to us, asking if you would approve them to get rid of some of their Iron Mountain things that would save a lot of money. Did you ever follow up on that? Is that being done? We haven't heard anything else about that.
There was some legal issues
It was,
going on.
no, there was, I pushed to get, so before you can destroy those documents, you have to have a records commission meeting.
Okay.
So before you can have that meeting, and during that time, typically the clerks organize that meeting. Debbie Flackey was here training the clerks weren't able to do that. Debbie suggested that we push it to September because it would be closer to the shred day. But in order to get, to destroy the documents, they have to go to the state and go to, be approved through, I can't remember the names, but there's a process. So, but you have to have the records commission meeting first, go through all the documents to be destroyed, and that meeting was decidedly pushed back by Debbie Flackey and, the clerks, because they weren't necessarily prepared, because it's heavily involved with the clerks. The clerks are heavily involved with the process.
Okay.
They were in training, so we decided to push it back to the fall. But it is still there, and once we can call that meeting, and the documents go down to, I believe it's the state or some historical organization to approve the destruction, then we can proceed with destroying those documents. But it was held up due to transitions in the administration and council.
So council clerks who have to do the job of, you're talking about the clerk of courts?
The clerks, so
You're
typically.
talking about clerk of courts, right?
No, we're talking about the clerks. You're asking about the.
No, I'm asking about your council clerks came to us and the deputy, and they sent a letter. Yeah,
They're
they sent a letter to
They
you.
they're perfectly
Okay.
ready with a
Right.
list of documents that can be destroyed.
Okay.
Okay?
There it is.
But in order for those documents to be destroyed, there has to be a records commission meeting, which includes several entities. They send out letters to every department asking, do you have records that you'd like to be destroyed? The departments return those records to the clerk, the council clerk. The council clerk collects those documents, and then the council clerk, she puts together the meeting, and then we have that meeting. So what I'm saying is that meeting was pushed off because typically, Clymer, the council clerk, we were going through a transition, so the meeting was pushed back, which is required before you can destroy any documents.
Right.
So now that we have a little more stability, we can move forward with calling the records commission meeting and getting those documents to the historical.
Okay. They never mentioned any of that stuff, so that was your deputy clerk. Okay, thank you. Ms. Howard?
But their records are ready to go. They keep immaculate records over there.
I had a comment too.
Excuse me,
That's okay.
did you finish?
I'm done, thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mr. Bliss, go ahead.
Yeah, I just have one comment, I understand and I appreciate what you shared with the council this evening. One thing that I think would help me in my decision making is to see kind of what a break even might be.
Correct.
So we could see an analysis that would say, look, if we get 5 cases a month for the next 3 months, they're gonna break even. And maybe what we could do as council is push the decision-making until our next council meeting after the recess. I mean, it's kind of like no harm, no foul that I could see. Because at that time, we'll have a chance to have a finance committee meeting too. And we would expect the mayor would present, that's what I would expect, the financial projections, the forecast, the break even at the committee. And then the committee can either take their recommendations up or down. If you need immediate action today, that's a different story. But I'm saying I think it would be more palatable and a little more logical decision making to kind of see a break even and a little bit of a pro forma on that.
Right, if I may, Council President.
Sure, all right.
So the request was just to table it.
Yeah.
And with the table, I would be able to present to you what you're asking. The idea of bringing the courts back has been, we've been researching that since January since January, to be honest with you, because I knew it was something that the council had questioned and it had always been on my radar. So we've been researching it, and when I looked at the numbers, and I've asked several, it just didn't make sense. There's only one person that isn't already on payroll that you have to pay to run the mayor's court, and that's the magistrate. You pay them a flat rate to come in twice a month, sometimes 5-day hearings. Some extra paperwork, probably maximum expense $1,000 a month. When I looked at the numbers, I didn't see how it wasn't profitable. And I've been reviewing it since January in many different capacities, finding methods such as payment. We currently use PayPal. We're switching over to bridge payment, no fees. So this has not just come about, but I wanted to bring it up now because of this legislation, to say if you table it now, we can then discuss it and I can present to you the finances behind the decision, but everything's in place and it isn't a last minute decision. We've been researching it for a very long time. So if you give me the opportunity, I can present the numbers and you can make a decision.
Thank you.
But the request is just to table it until you do have the information that you're requesting.
May I respond? The clerk of court's position and that function did not just go away. There's some key pronouns that's being used tonight. They, we, I, none of which included council. None of which included council. I don't have to guess. I got the message of how some things are viewed. So I'm well aware of that. But that being said, this is a third reading, not a first, not a second, and check the records. Not only did the chief of police who resided over those as a part of that staffing, also a mayor that was the acting justice of the court. Figures don't lie. It was not producing any cash flow. It hasn't for years. So,
Madam Chairman, just we did talk a lot
there's
about.
that we, but
Well,
go ahead.
the mayor and I should say, and it's others, but the police department and the clerks. And the thought is to bring additional we always sent the OBIs in the criminal cases over to Bedford. And that income was not part of the past mayor's court. And by doing them here, we're optimistic that the revenue will be increased substantially. And like she said, everybody's on payroll anyway, so it's not any additional cost other than the magistrate. And she's thought about it for a long time, I think, and she ran the numbers.
So therefore, what our attorney, Mr. Clymer, also stated, is there something inside of the state where they no longer are issuing or having these courts now due to some legal issues?
No, ma'am, they're still legal.
So that was not we were not giving the correct information, is that what you're saying? For all of this that has been said tonight, we were not given, again, correct information, period, in order to make a decision. Because if that's the case, we could have made this decision a long time ago. It could have been done at the beginning of the year, it could have been done at the beginning of last year, but we have been getting this information from the police chief, if this is what you're telling me, the police chief, the ex-mayor, the council that sat right here, everything they have told council within these 4 years were incorrect. Because we asked them about that mayor court over and over and over again. It's inside the minutes. We've asked them. So now all of a sudden, they're not telling us the truth. So I'm having a problem. I'm having a problem because we're not getting the right information.
Well, I think that's what she's asking.
One thing is, we never get the right information. Everything is always glossed upon. Everything has always been putting some pudding on top of it. Instead of just coming out straightforward and giving us what we need to know to make these right decisions in here.
I think that's what she's asking for an opportunity to do.
I don't have a problem of giving her the opportunity to go over this again. But this right here has to be gone over with everyone. All the directors,
Yes, ma'am.
the attorneys, council. Some straight decisions need to be made on, are we gonna bring a mayor's court back? After we don't just disseminated it, it went to Bedford. And I'm gonna apologize. I don't mean to be upset, but when you are continuously lied to about decisions that could be made with council and with budget and with money, that's what we're here for. And we are not given the right information.
First of all, we weren't given the respect that it was being reviewed. We've had 3 readings, not even a phone call. And then we're told the process that has been undertaken, and now on a 3rd read. You know, if the objective is to make us look stupid, okay, it's not a good look. Okay.
If I may, Council President, no, the delay in announcing the thought to go back to mayor's court was just that, collecting the information, making sure we had I had an in-depth understanding of why it stopped, right?
Excuse me.
Because, you know, it's just hard when you've been told, I sat on council with you and I heard the same information, right? So it was a question mark for me, why did it stop? So before I came to you and said, we're doing this, right? I just wanted to make sure that we had turned over every stone. It wasn't disrespect, it was making sure that I could confidently come to you and say that this is a decision I'm making because I've been doing the research. Coming to you prematurely, it could have been met with more animosity, but the idea now is that I can confidently say is that I have no understanding as to why exactly, but I do think that it would be a good opportunity for us to explore it, at least for a year, look at the profitability. I can get you all the numbers that you need to decide based on this legislation if you want to keep the clerk or not, but it's not to make you look stupid. It was really to give myself and the departments an opportunity to get all the information so we would be able to present it properly. Because if we brought it back too soon, I couldn't come to you confidently saying this is something that we should explore, at least pilot for a year, is what I'm asking.
Okay, Councilperson, excuse me, Councilperson.
Councilperson Scruggs, my question is to the law director. When you are reinstituting a clerk or instituting this office again, is it my understanding that you will or we will have to create additional legislation that says we are now reopening this function to do this, because this legislation is the legislation that's currently in place for the clerk of courts is not going to serve the mayor's court, if it's reopened, we will have to still come back and create new legislation for that, correct?
I'm not, I believe it's in place already. I don't think there is any legislation that needs to take place, and we're still an active mayor's court. We take waivers, we take money from cases in the past that people have to pay. I mean, it's still a functioning mayor's court, but it's so there's no legislation that really needs, other than if there's some expense that needs to be approved. Other than that, we should be fine.
So the reason why I was asking that question is if this legislation that we're currently looking at does not pass tonight, we still have the opportunity to research. We still have the opportunity to come back and create the legislation that will work effectively with the makeup of how the mayor's court is going to now run, because whatever it is going to happen is going to be probably a little bit different than it was in the past. So we still need to do that in conjunction with all of the research that is going on. We still have to do that, correct?
I don't think there's gonna be any legislation necessary,
Okay.
honest to God, but I don't know 100% sure of that, honestly. But if you guys disbanded it, then maybe we do need to pass some legislation, but I'm not familiar with, I think we just closed it down and went to Bedford, and it's still functioning, and actually the duties are a lot similar for the two clerks. There really is enough work for both of them, especially with their vacation schedules. They still have to send the same cases, whether they're mayor's court or Bedford cases. They still have to send all the cases over to Bedford, and there's strict time limits on it. Someone mentioned it could sit on the desk for a while, but it can't. There's like 30-day speedy trial issues that must be followed, so you have to get the we allow them to waiver it for about a week or so, and if they don't waive it, then we have to get that ticket over to Bedford Court. It is it's very complicated. So, but so you really need two clerks anyway, in my opinion. But I think that we can make some money on it. I really do, assuming people pay.
Stop
Also,
right there.
she-
It's a matter of fact. If we walked over in that office as we speak, it's a matter of public record that we have close to $200,000 in uncollected funds. Am I correct?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
Is that not what we were told? That there's where's the fire chief? He's left.
No, he's
No,
there.
he's back in the back.
Straight back.
Fire chief, are we not going to use the same collection process that you have to try to collect those funds?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Attorney General.
Yes. So there are funds that are uncollectible, okay? So are we going to keep using this same process and fill another drawer? What's going to happen any different that will make us that will generate funds?
I think it'll be more. I think we'll make the same amount of money that we're making at Bedford Court right now. I mean, the people are paying money over there. They're going to pay it here. You know, we're going to resolve it. I think we'll make money. We'll see.
So the question that I'm gonna ask, so that it's not 200,000, it was more than that, okay, that she bought in front of us. So Bedford Court is not collecting no over 200,000 plus right now.
That's what we were told through our clerks to the.
It's not 200,000, it was more than.
There's a
200,000.
figure. I don't have it with me, to be honest
Yes,
with
it was
you.
more.
How much we made at Bedford Court last year.
That's why the decision was made with Garrett to say no, that the court system didn't work, okay? That's why the decision was made with the mayor that the court system didn't work. And that's why our past legal counsel stated that it didn't work. And that's why we was asking, could we go on with the Attorney General office like the fire department did to bring that revenue in? Because they were sitting in them drawers, a lot of revenue in there, okay? They can't collect that money. They were saying they can't go to the BMV to tap it onto their driver's license or whatever. So this right here was information, and it was also a concern that we had 2 years ago. We asked that same question about the Traffic Bureau Court. And we also asked it in reference, and I think you were also there with Bedford, the money that they were bringing in, could we bring it in here? I mean, it was just some discrepancies. We can move on.
The chief mentioned it at the budget hearing for the clerk of courts this year, because he said they also tie up 2 police officers during the process, whenever they hold that court. So you didn't, I don't know if you factored that expense in. But
It's not an expense, they're already on payroll.
But they have to, they're pulled
No,
off.
they're not. It's
Yes, they are. Let's
it's
move on.
auxiliary and a detective that may have downtime. They're not pulled off the street, they're not patrolling.
Well, from this point on, however the vote goes, I just would like to advise, I've mentioned this before at a council meeting, that we communicate with one another, maybe have meetings. I requested a meeting over and over again, and even today we were supposed to have a meeting and it didn't come to fruition. So at some point, we have to communicate better, because this at the last minute is not good, as you can see.
All right, I'm asking the law director to read, this is a third read.
It's an ordinance reorganizing the clerk of court's office. Ordinance number 2026-50.
It's on here.
Yes.
All right, this is a third read. A motion to accept? Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Evans Warren,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
Bliss,
No.
Scruggs,
Yes.
Matlock,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes, please.
Sims.
Yes, ma'am.
That passed to accept.
Next one.
50. Let's go to 51.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is an example of how your council works. I'm glad that you're here to see it. I watched all the time, thank you very much.
An ordinance retaining James A. Clymer and providing compensation for services in transitioning the activities of the law department to the persons appointed as the interim law director and/or the replacement law director, and declaring an emergency. I believe we've made some changes, Madam Chairman, to the ordinance that put a time limit on it and to clarify the $15,000 was an amount not to exceed, not a monthly amount.
Okay, those changes are made. Does anyone have any other questions? With the changes?
It took away the month, correct? That's what the change was? It took away the 15,000 a month
Yes, ma'am.
and just put 15,000, correct?
Yes, ma'am. And we limited it to 3 months time frame, but which doesn't mean that you can't extend it, but you know, we're trying to put a time frame, and he agrees to show you his, monthly bills until, reach that amount, and then if you guys, if the new law director and the thinks he still needs Clymer's services, you guys could address that at a later time. So we need, if you're gonna pass it, we need to suspend it.
May I have a motion to suspend the rules? I have a motion to suspend.
So
So
moved.
moved.
May I have a second?
Second, Bliss.
Roll call.
Evans Warren,
Yes.
Sims,
Yes, ma'am.
Harden,
Yes.
Scruggs,
Yes.
Bliss,
Yes.
Matlock,
Yes.
Yes,
Davis.
please.
Motion to suspend the rules has passed.
May I have a motion for passage?
Motion to pass ordinance 2026.
I second that. Evans.
Roll call.
Evans Warren,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
Scruggs,
Yes.
Matlock,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes, please.
Sims,
Yes, ma'am.
Bliss.
Yes.
Motion is passed.
That's 51.
51.
Okay, resolution 56.
56 is an emergency ordinance confirming the appointment and fixing the compensation of the law director.
That's not 56.
Oh, sorry, she said.
Sorry,
Yeah, is that-
56.
56 is the resolution.
Oh, from Ms. Stelma? Let's see, where's that?
My copy?
56 is there, but let me see, Ms. Stelma. Okay, a resolution of condolences to the family of Thelma Pauline Williams.
A motion to suspend?
So moved, please. It's suspended rules.
Second. Roll call?
Hardin,
Yes.
Bliss,
Yes.
Scruggs,
Yes.
Evans Warren,
Yes.
Matlock,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes, please.
Sims.
Yes, ma'am.
Motion to
I make
pass?
a motion to pass resolution number 2026-56.
Sim James, second.
Roll call?
Evans Warren,
Yes.
Sims,
Yes, ma'am.
Davis,
Yes, please.
Matlock,
Yes.
Bliss,
Yes.
Hardin,
Yes.
Scruggs.
Yes.
Motion is passed for 2026-56.
Mr. Auditor, would you read the request from the finance director for that change?
Yes.
And that would be what number? Madam Clerk, what number would this?
That's just a motion, but for Bricker, we probably need a number, 2026, assuming you're passing that tonight for the new law director.
Absolutely.
So on the work session, it's listed 56, so we probably need to give it, what, 57?
Yeah, it's 57.
Okay. So we're gonna do that one first before the motion?
Yes.
All right, so we'll do.
For Bricker.
Yes, ma'am. So we need, where did I do that? Let's see. An emergency ordinance confirming the appointment and fixing the compensation of the law director concerning the hiring of Bricker and Graydon or Wyatt as law director.
We have a motion to suspend, and Mayor, thank you. That was a good choice.
So moved. Evans.
Second by
Roll call.
Davis.
Okay, Hardin,
Yes.
Bliss,
Yes.
Scruggs,
Yes.
Evans Warren,
Yes.
Matlock,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes, please.
Sims.
Yes, ma'am.
Motion to accept?
Motion to accept has passed.
Suspend.
Suspend,
To
sorry.
suspend.
Yes.
This is-
Sorry.
That's okay. Motion to accept?
I second that motion.
She didn't make it. No? Did you make it?
She said motion to accept.
Okay.
And is there a second?
I just
Yeah,
said
it was
it.
Evans.
Is a question?
Question on the motion, yeah. Is this the contract where we want him to include the 1-year evaluation or renewal, or
It's not in this
Are we-
legislation.
how are we going about
Yes.
that?
So,
Do we still want to include that?
yes, we do.
Yes.
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 Are we passing this without that being included, or are we going to
Just,
wait?
just your first
Well,
reading.
she,
Well, you need to, gotta get him moving, because you're not gonna see him again until the end of August here. We can just amend it, make a motion to amend it to include the 1 year.
Can he amend his contract?
Well,
No, not
in
to
the
amend his
ordinance.
contract, to amend it to say that once a year, that his contract
In
is
the
confirmed.
legislation?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Law Director, that's the proposed.
so do I need to say it again?
Yes, please.
It's a motion to amend so that the contract expires every January and requires approval by the mayor and council.
Sims Junior second.
Roll call.
Alright, Hardin,
Yes.
Scruggs,
Yes.
Evans Warren,
Yes.
Matlock,
Yes.
Bliss,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes, please.
Sims.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, for the amend, now I'm asking for a vote, for a motion to pass as amended.
Correct.
I make a motion to pass 2026-57 as amended and sent by Ms. Warren.
I second that, Evans.
Okay.
Roll call.
Sims,
Yes, ma'am.
Davis,
Yes, please.
Hardin,
Yes.
Bliss,
Yes.
Scruggs,
Yes.
Evans Warren,
Yes.
Matlock.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Now,
And last but not least, the finance director requested, well, can we get a motion to reclassify, my eyes are like in this macular degeneration, a motion to reclassify the accounts payable position to senior accountant specialist, so we're changing accounts payable to senior account specialist to encompass additional duties required that shall be assigned by the finance director to assist the finance director in an effort to restructure the department to operate it efficiently as a full-time position, and the current salary ordinance is amended accordingly. Can we get a motion to that effect?
So
What
moved,
number
Evans.
is that first?
Well,
What
we
number
could-
that would be, 58?
59.
Oh, no,
Since
57?
we're at 57, so it'll be 50.
58?
All right, you got it, all
Okay,
right.
okay. I make a motion to approve, oh, we have to suspend first? I make a motion to suspend
All right.
2026-58.
All right.
We need a second.
Sim Jr. second.
Roll call.
Sims,
Yes, ma'am.
Hardin,
Yes.
Bliss,
Yes.
Scruggs,
Yes.
But yes, she wants us to reclassify the position.
She's moved from
She's
accounts
done her job
payable
already.
Is that
to
in
full-time.
Evans Warren,
Yes.
Matlock,
Yes.
Davis.
Yes, please.
Motion to accept.
I make a motion that we accept 2026-58 as read by the law director.
Thank you.
May I have a second?
Sim Jr. second.
Roll call.
Hardin,
Yes.
Bliss,
Yes.
Scruggs,
Yes.
Evans Warren,
Yes.
Matlock,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes, please.
Sims.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, guys.
Motion is passed to accept 2026-58.
Any other business? Not, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Just to tell them, perhaps, Madam Chairman, that we're off till August, whatever it is, or just so there won't be a regular meeting on the 2nd in August, right? So, just so
The
the
next
public's
meeting
aware.
is the 25th.
So the public's aware, so they don't come out here.
You want to make that announcement? Go right ahead.
I'm not sure the dates.
The 28th, August 25th. Okay. The next meeting will be August 25th, we're on recess.
Enjoy the summer, folks.
May I have a roll call?
To adjourn.
May I have-
Second.
Roll call.
All right, Hardin,
Yes.
Bliss,
Yes.
Scruggs,
Yes.
Evans Warren,
Yes.
Matlock,
This is the life we have chosen.
Davis,
Davis.
Davis,
Tired.
Yes.
Sims.
But we do need to.
This is the life.
I think it'll help.
Now I gotta get
I don't even, I hate it.
more coffee.
Where's she at? We need to go.
Hey, Miss Connie, she's glad to
Phone
see
in
you.
there?
I didn't say anything, but remember when I asked you about that car? What was your response back then?
Said I didn't have enough information to make a decision. But I,
Comment too?
Certainly, let the record show
Yeah,
that
Councilman Bliss.
Councilperson Bliss is speaking.
Yeah, when I heard the comment, I kind of unpacked it into two sections. And we talked a lot about the position itself for fellow council people, but what I originally thought I heard was the process. And if you look at the process of council and our legislative history, we do pass a significant amount of legislation suspending the rules and because of the emergency session. I mean, I just counted 4 in our packet in front of us today. So I think it's a good point that we may want to consider as we move forward is 3 readings is the standard kind of operating procedure, but I think that process-wise, everything is not perhaps an emergency. Now, when the hailstorm hit and my wife's car got messed up, that was an emergency for me. But I just think that legislatively, it's something we can consider. We got some good feedback, and I took the process part away from the position. The position's a deeper discussion, budgets and FOP contracts and other things that we're analyzing. But from a process standpoint, every piece of legislation isn't an emergency. I mean, that's just what I wanted to share, so.
There's Mr. Sims is speaking.
I withdraw.
He withdrew his comment. I'm hearing from the constituents that there is a question if in fact we can remove the emergency clause. So, is there a motion to remove the emergency clause?
I make the motion to move the.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bliss?
Yes.
Okay, Councilman Flood?
Yes.
Councilman Harden?
Yes?
Councilman Matlock?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes, please.
Councilman Sims Junior, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Motion to remove the clause. Motion to remove the emergency clause.
Okay, so that is passed. All right. Did I close the floor for public comment? Let's see where we are. Okay, it's time to go into legislation. The law director is not here. So I will read the legislation. I'm reading 202650, and it reads as follows. An ordinance recognizing the clerk of court's office and declaring an emergency. Whereas the Oakwood Mayor's Court no longer hears cases and operates only as a violations bureau, which has significantly decreased the workload of the clerk of court's office, and whereas given the foregoing change and other economic developments, council finds it necessary to reorganize the positions authorized in the clerk of court's office. Now therefore be it resolved by the council of the village of Oakwood, county of Cuyahoga, state of Ohio, section 1. Did we not vote to change the effective date?
Yes,
we did.
it was
Okay,
amended.
so it was
Section
amended.
1 was
As
effective.
amended, Madam Clerk, effective August 1st, 2026.
Correct.
The clerk of court's position is reclassified as part-time for the clerk to work a maximum 20 hours per week through December 31st of 2026, after which the position shall be abolished. Section 2, effective January 1st, 2027, the position of Chief Deputy Clerk of the Oakwood Mayor's Court shall be retitled Mayor's Court Clerk and shall perform all duties presently performed by the Clerk of Courts and Assistant Clerk of Court. And it was amended to remove the emergency clause. Okay? So, what I just, the ordinance that I just read, it goes on to say, provided it receives 2/3 of the vote of all of the members of council, this ordinance shall be in full force and effect immediately upon its adoption by this court and approved by the mayor, otherwise from and after the earliest period allowed by law. Okay, so that, I read it without the emergency clause.
Okay.
So,
Can
yes,
I say something?
certainly.
The mayor gave me a piece of paper. I guess she had an emergency, she had to leave. And she gave me a piece of paper from the two ladies in their clerk of courts. And I guess they wanted me to read this, if you guys don't object to it.
No, go ahead.
Let the record show all of council is agreeing to this letter being read into the record.
To the honorable members of Oakwood Village Council from the Oakwood Mayor's Court. The clerk and deputy clerk would like to thank council for its guidance for the need to cross-train in the mayor's court. This would be highly beneficial and efficient in maintaining the court. This would guarantee continuous operation. We have started cross-training on numerous things such as reports requested from the FBI and the defendant's records and emails requests. We have also started the overall duties related to the clerk of court's position. The clerk and deputy clerk, humbly and with respect to the Oakwood Village Council, would like to share some reasons why the court would require to have 2 full-time employees to carry out an efficient operation. The first one would be no checks and balances. No one to help clarify problems that randomly come up. No one to assist with phone calls. Not able to answer emails in a timely manner related to the defendant's concerns. Case backload of transfers not being transferred in a timely manner. No one to proofread certain data pertaining to court information. Also, having a deputy clerk and clerk would ensure having the necessary coverage if someone is on vacation, sick leave, or in case of emergencies. Once again, we would like to thank the council for its due diligence in meeting the Ohio Revised Code to keeping the mayor's court operational and efficient. We would like to ask council to give the mayor's court until the end of the year to revisit and put in place by ensuring and securing personnel needs of this operation. Thank you. That was from Oakwood Mayor's Court.
And it's signed by whom?
It just says thank you. I'm assuming this is coming from Devon Jones and Carolyn Jones.
But it's not signed.
No, it just says thank you.
It has been read into the record. I'm now asking for a motion to suspend the rules.
And my first question would be, first thing may I ask, I'm sorry, but is our ordinance number going to be the same as the work session?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know, just to
That
make sure it was the
happened to be
same.
a coincidence.
Right, okay, I just want to make sure because it had, okay, thank you.
Is there a second?
Second, Evans.
Okay, Councilman Sims Jr.
Can I have a quick comment on the motion?
Who did you just ask? Hold on.
I'm asking Council President. There's a motion and a second.
There's a motion and a second.
So is there a question on the motion?
Here I go.
Okay.
Is there a question on the motion? Go ahead.
Councilman Bliss.
Councilman Bliss.
So the vote right now is to suspend the rules so that we can use the emergency provision to
No.
get this passed tonight? No.
That's gone.
Okay.
The emergency clause has been removed. And the emergency clause relates to how it's processed,
24 hours.
okay?
10 days.
So will there be successive readings of this then?
If you don't suspend the rules, it's a successive reading.
Okay, got it. That's what I wanted to be clear about. Okay.
No problem.
And we're voting to suspend the rules right now.
Correct.
I vote, and it's on Bliss.
Yes, Bliss.
No.
Scruggs. Councilman Scruggs.
Yes.
Councilman Evans Warren.
Yes.
Councilman Medlock.
No.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
Councilman Harden.
Yes. But the rules were not suspended, so this is a first reading. Okay. Say it again?
I didn't vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. Councilman Sims Jr.
No, he didn't, somebody else took his.
Okay, so this is first reading.
First reading.
Yes, ma'am. All right? And I don't normally do this, but Barry, did we complete your request?
Yes.
All right, so,
As much as I can keep up with suspending of the rules, yes.
okay. So because we I have no problem explaining, because we suspended the rules, it did not pass. It's on a first reading. The way the process goes, at the next meeting, we can approve it or not. So that was number one tonight. This is number one. At the second meeting, we can approve it or not. We'll read it again. It's called a second reading. Then we're gonna read it a third time if it doesn't pass. Okay? Okay?
Okay.
So we can either table it on a second reading, we can pass it or fail it. If we don't table it, it goes to a third reading, at which time we can pass it, fail it, or table it. Okay?
Okay.
All right? So I think what your objective was to give it, send it through the whole process.
Yes.
All right, so that was accomplished. Yes, ma'am.
And so, just so you straight. Don't think that 2 weeks later is going to be second reading. Because they can call a council meeting for Friday. That could be reading number 2. And they can call a council meeting for Monday. And
It's
that could
posted.
be reading number 3. And you won't know, and the ordinance will pass. So don't think it's 2 weeks
No,
between.
that's false information.
Because it is not.
Okay, Ms. Harden, that's false
Hold on.
information.
Hold on,
False information being
Yes,
hold on.
please.
Shall I give you an example?
No,
No.
we're not going down that little road today. There's, since the comment was made, there's who would like to respond?
Senator Junior, you won't be misinformed or not informed at all. It will be posted, under our website. I believe, are we still doing that at Sam's Club? Or is-
No, it's just student preps.
Yeah, just our website, but you will be informed, so that
It's
you can
posted.
attend that meeting. So the fact that you won't, understand or, you won't get that information is totally misinformation. Just to state that for the record.
Okay, no more comments from the audience, no more back and forth, no.
I'm going motion, sure.
Okay.
Sorry.
May I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Oh, wait,
I thought we were gonna have a little,
wait a minute, Tommy, what did I miss, Tommy?
after the last meeting, you said we were having an executive session.
Yeah.
Okay, oh, you want to go in executive session? I'm sorry, I apologize.
That's okay.
I apologize. Okay, what is about to happen for those that don't come that often, and I see 2 faces that I'm just, thank you for coming. Before we adjourn, if there's something that the council wants to discuss that is confidential, involved, and there has to be a reason for it, and we have to read into the minutes. Madam Clerk, would you pull the different things regarding employment?
For
That
executive
particular
session.
verbiage.
The verbiage for executive session.
Yes, ma'am. It has to be specific, and we have to only deal with those topics in executive session. Other than that, all comments and meetings, when there's more than 4 of us together, we cannot have discussion on village business. So if you see 4 or 5 of them sitting in the restaurant, see what they're doing. All right, so please stay until we hold on until we can get because we are going to executive session. And when we come out, we will not conduct any other public business. But you're welcome to stay if you want, but we're not going to talk about anything else after our executive session. But before we go in, I have to have the verbiage.
Okay, executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of public employee or official.
That is the purpose of our meeting. We're going in executive session. We're going to ask everyone that's not involved in that meeting, please leave the chambers, and thank you for coming.
I make a motion to go in executive session.
Here's the motion to go into executive
Second.
session.
Second.
Roll call.